welcome to a new episode of Subcast.
Great to be diving into this.
Today, we're getting into something we talk about a lot here, the way social media is changing for businesses. Specifically looking at Facebook, what is it now? Is it still that, neutral space?
Or has something fundamental shifted? It's a question we tackle with clients all the time, really.
Definitely. And it's not just theory, is it? It hits marketing strategy, how brands actually operate day to day.
Absolutely. And an article from Subsign, "Is Facebook a platform or publisher?" really helped frame this thinking. It's a critical way to look at it.
It is, because that difference, platform or publisher, it sounds academic maybe,
Right.
but it changes like everything. Content, risk, the whole lot. So let's break that down. What's the difference according to that piece?
Okay, so a platform, basically.
Yeah.
It gives you the tools, the infrastructure, lets people connect and share.
Like the phone company example.
Exactly like the phone company, yeah. They provide the lines, but they aren't, legally on the hook for what you say on a call. There's a neutrality there.
It's just the pipes. Got it. And a publisher.
The publisher is different. They're active, they curate, they choose, they distribute content. Think newspapers, magazines.
Right. They make editorial calls, and they're responsible for what they print.
Precisely. They stand by it, legally and reputationally.
Which makes sense, thinking back to how the internet and Facebook started out, positioned as that open digital town square idea.
That was the promise, wasn't it? But what we've seen, and what the Subsign article points out, is this drift.
A shift, yeah.
Facebook started moderating more, banning certain content, making decisions about what's okay and what's not.
That sounds much more like a publisher's job, doesn't it? Setting boundaries.
It really does. It moves away from just being a neutral stage.
And wasn't there that big moment with Mark Zuckerberg in front of Congress? That felt significant.
Oh, absolutely. Very telling. When he actually said Facebook is responsible for the content.
And he apologized, right? For not taking a broad enough view of that responsibility before.
Yep. That statement alone, it just signaled a huge internal shift.
Yeah.
Moving away from that pure, hands-off platform idea.
Felt like a real line in the sand. So, okay, for us, working with businesses on these platforms, what are the big takeaways, the implications of Facebook taking on this responsibility?
Well, there are two major things that jump out based on the article and what we're seeing. First, potential legal responsibility. If they're responsible, maybe they could be sued alongside a user for things like, say, unlicensed photos or slanderous posts.
Wow. Okay, so the legal shield gets weaker.
It potentially gets blurrier, yeah. It could change the liability landscape quite a bit. That's one big thing.
Okay, and the second implication?
The second is just the sheer difficulty of doing it consistently, defining hate speech or, inappropriate content.
Across
billions of views, billions, with completely different cultures and views. Zuckerberg himself admitted how hard it is to draw those lines fairly and consistently.
It feels almost impossible to get right all the time. Which brings us to AI, doesn't it? The article mentions using AI to police content proactively.
Yeah. And that's a whole other can of worms.
How so? Sounds efficient on the surface.
It does, but AI learns from data, right? And data often has biases baked in, so you worry about fairness.
Right. Could legitimate business content get flagged by mistake?
Absolutely. A marketing campaign could get caught in the crossfire because the algorithm lacks context or has some underlying bias. It raises, moral and legal questions, as Zuckerberg put it.
Which circles right back to why this matters so much for brands, for businesses on Facebook, Instagram, all of it. How does this change our marketing thinking?
We just have to be way more mindful, aware of the platform's rules, which seem to be constantly evolving.
Like that example in the article, the Chick-fil-A page.
Exactly. The Huckabee Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day page getting shut down, even temporarily. It shows how platform decisions, even supposedly based on standards, can hit a business directly.
And often without much warning or clear explanation, right? That's the frustrating part.
Total lack of transparency sometimes.
Yeah.
You're trying to connect with your audience, and suddenly, roadblocks appear.
That example does stick with you. A popular page, gone, underscores that the ground rules can shift under your feet.
Definitely. And it's not happening in a vacuum either. You've got social pressure, political pressure.
Legal stuff too, like GDPR.
Exactly. All these forces are pushing platforms like Facebook to rethink their role and responsibilities. They're squeezed from multiple directions.
So it really boils down to this core dilemma for Facebook, doesn't it? Are they a tech platform, or are they becoming the world's biggest publisher, maybe even accidentally?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And for marketers, it means we can't just set and forget. Strategies need to be flexible, ready to adapt.
Because what worked last year might suddenly cross a line today.
Precisely. You need to be aware of these content moderation policies, how they're being enforced, even by AI.
It does raise that concern about, well, censorship, doesn't it? Even if it's unintentional, driven by algorithms.
It does. Legitimate marketing messages could get caught up. It's a real possibility. Navigating this just requires a much deeper understanding of the platform rules and maybe a more cautious approach sometimes.
Yeah, it's not just about broadcasting anymore. It's about understanding the gatekeeper.
And they're changing gates.
This is such a critical conversation. The lines blurring between platform and publisher. It has huge implications for businesses, for marketing, really highlights the need for a smart, informed approach.
Totally agree. Staying on top of these shifts, understanding the potential impact, it's crucial right now. It's a conversation that just has to keep going.
It absolutely does. For expert guidance navigating the evolving digital landscape and for all your marketing needs, get in touch with Subsign today.